I wanted to set all that up to say, who is the topic of the conversation right now? Is it Gizelle? Because, oh, she thinks she's all that. She's da, 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 da. Or is the topic of the conversation Jamal? Hey, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 2 of a mukbang. I just left that one talking about one subject, and I kind of didn't want the video to just be extended. So I'm going to take a couple of bites of this, a couple of bites of the naan. If you didn't watch the previous video, I'll tell you what I'm eating. I'm eating Indian food, and it's called Biryani. And it's like it's a one-pot dish with all type of goodness, spices and everything. And this is what I've eaten so far from the previous video. And I'm going to eat a little bit more, but not much. And then naan bread, which is like an unleavened bread, but the flavor is butter. So the restaurant has garlic and everything. So make sure you watch that video, because I'm not going to give a full description. I'm going to cheat and make you go watch that video. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Definitely subscribe to receive more videos. So anyway, you read from the title. The last video I was talking about Kenya and Portia, and just being a woman and jealousy and envious and just a whole bunch of stuff. And I do a couple of story times. So go check that out. This video, I'm going to talk about Mr. Jamal Bryant. I'm going to give a little background, but then I want to have a discussion, because ultimately I see a lot of people sort of digging at Gizelle. And so I want to have a conversation. Let's start it off like this. Should we be talking about Gizelle right now, or should we be talking about Jamal Bryant, or can we talk about both of them? And I'll lay it out. So shout out to Larry Reed. Larry Reed does it. If you don't know, he's a, how do you say, commentary, entertainer. He is hilarious. Okay. Larry broke this story down. Long story short, if you don't know who Jamal, I call him Larry calls him Jamal. So if you hear me saying Jamal, that's where I get it from. So Larry break down this story. Let me rewind. If you don't know who Jamal Bryant is, he's now the current pastor of New Birth Church in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure I left out a couple of words. It's New Birth's Hairspray Church of God, and it's not Church of God, but New Birth, full gospel, denoted umbrella. Like, it's one of them. Long story short, New Birth in Atlanta. Huge mega pastor who, for lack of a better term, has had a very consistent history of, as Larry Reed says, having sextivities while being a pastor in the pulpit. Jamal. So Jamal was married to, or a child. Jamal has children, apparently a lot. So Jamal, he had a baby on Gizelle. They broke up. You got to just catch up. They get back together. Their daughters are like, are you sure you want, they're teenagers. So they know. And they're like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, he a dog. Like, don't do it. Oh, we're going to reconcile, whatever. First they were like, oh, we're not, whatever. So again, Gizelle is a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And so that Jamal ends up leaving that area, Potomac, and he goes, or Maryland, and he ends up, same region. He ends up taking over the church from when, what's his name? Eddie Long passed away. So when Bishop Eddie Long passed away, Jamal Bryant ended up taking over the church. And I take you to listen to, I can't eat no more. It takes, but I did tell y'all it was a mukbang. It takes Larry Reed to talk about Eddie Wrong, as he's saying, and Jamal. However, I was rooting for him. Larry Reed was rooting for him. Everybody was rooting for him, because we're like, okay, this is a fresh start. You got all these rumors of having kids and all this other stuff. It's all behind you. Real kids, whether they real, fake, whatever, he never confirmed, whatever. So earlier this year, a couple of months ago, so he's in the office. Seemed like he was doing good. Him and Gizelle working, reconciling. She got her ring, this, and that, and the other, whatever. Fast forward to a couple of months ago, rumor, baby on the way. He denied it. He went on and I saw it on Instagram. He went on Instagram and he was like, "Thanks for the congratulations, but no, I'm not having a baby." Da 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 da. Denied it. Fast forward, they're on that Real Housewives. Not they, Gizelle is, because Jamal don't typically show up, and the girls like to always point that out. They so shady. Oh my goodness, they so shady. So anyway, we have this season. This past last week, Monique. Monique comes on the show. Her and Gizelle obviously do not like each other. Monique comes on the show with a binder, and she couldn't wait. You could tell. Now, I'm on the West Coast, so by the time it airs on the West Coast, I had already got all y'all notifications from the East, from Midwest to East Coast, so I knew something was going on. And I'm not gonna lie, I typically don't watch all the reunion shows. Yeah. Monique came with receipts in her binder, phone numbers, text message, and everything else, saying she knows that he really does have a woman. Allegedly, he really does have a baby on the way. The lady has stated that Jamal said that him and Gizelle are just for TV, and it's not real. This lady has been messing with him for like 8 years. Bombshell. Andy was looking crazy. Everybody, the internet explodes. Gizelle even was taken back for a second. You can really tell Gizelle was like, oh. But she's so, unfortunately, I think she's so used to, allegedly, I think that's a position that she's been in before. That's what I'll say. It looked like she's been in that position before, and she knows how to keep her composure until she leaves and go off or whatever. And she sat there and listened to Monique, and Monique said what she had to say. And Monique's like, "Oh, I got the binder and this, that, and the other." And Gizelle was like, she didn't say anything. She honestly didn't say anything. The conversation went on, and she did, Andy asked her a question, and she was like, "Yeah, if that's what Monique's imaginary mind, whatever." So that was last week. As that was happening, fast forward to what Larry's conversation was. Larry was explaining that as that was happening, his phone was ringing off the hook. And allegedly, it was other women. The woman that was spoken about on the show, family members of these women, etc., etc., etc. So on Larry's show last night, he was explaining that. Like, oh, okay. So he sat on it for a week. That's been a week. And Larry's show was just last night. So he sat on it, and last night he came with it. He has receipts. He's spoken to this woman, whatever. Jamal has allegedly this relationship. Jamal does a cutback after the show last week. And he's like, "I didn't do anything wrong. Immoral. I didn't do anything immoral. And I don't have a kid here in Atlanta. If you dealt 5 minutes with a liar, it ain't what they say, it's what they don't say." So I was picking that up, Larry. And Larry was picking it up too. Larry was like, "No, he said he don't have a baby in Atlanta, and that may be true. Or he don't have a baby in Maryland." Whatever Jamal allegedly said, whatever. So Larry confirmed a lot of receipts last night. Then Larry opens the line. Larry opens the line, and this caller from Maryland allegedly joins the live. She said, once once she knows him personally, and it sounded like she did. And once it comes out why him and somebody else don't talk, he does have this baby. And the woman said he allegedly got 2 more babies on the way. So 2 more babies. And she said, that ain't even the worst part. So Larry, everybody in live is like losing it. He said, you're going to have to email me and we're going to have to have a conversation. Now, I'm not a part of Larry's Patreon, but last night I wished I was. Because apparently the lady came and they discussed everything. So I have to wait for that to come out to the public. But I kind of want to, so if you don't know, about 3 filming videos ago, I did my makeup. And that's what's on my hand. But anyway. I want to know what you think. Because I did not bring anything to drink in here. That's fine. Because after that live, after the show, I wasn't Team Monique. I wasn't. I was here for the tea, but I wasn't Team Monique. I didn't like the spirit behind what she was doing. I get that they're enemies. I get that they're not friends. I get that she knew it was going to be sensational. But I'm trying to think. I'm the type, I don't necessarily have to hurt you publicly, but you're going to hear from me privately. Or I just ignore you. So either way it goes. Just depends on how much I care. But what I will say, because I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people, and I've never used it against them. A lot of people don't even know I know half the stuff because, to be perfectly honest with you, my second profession could literally be a private investigator, and that's on facts. My husband will tell you. And so I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people. And I don't use that against them, even when they have wronged me or they feel some type of way about me or whatever. So I guess I can say, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use that platform to just spill the beans like that with the intention to hurt that person. When I know someone's lying to me, like, depending on who it is and what the situation is, I just let them lie because there's something in them that feels like they need to lie to me. That's the way I look at it. Would I have disclosed that information maybe to somebody else? I ain't gonna say that I'm a saint and I wouldn't have. I just wouldn't have did it on the reunion show. I know I wouldn't have did that in that public thing. It was just, no. Do I feel sorry for Gizelle in that regard or whatever? In a way, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, poor Gizelle. I'm just saying the way Monique went about it, I don't think that she should have used that platform to do that. The intent was to hurt Gizelle. And I think she definitely, regardless of the stone face that Gizelle had or whatever, I know that Monique's intentions, she met him. And so what I did feel bad about, and which is what I want to talk about, I wanted to set all that up to say, who is the topic of the conversation right now? Is it Gizelle? Because, she thinks she's all that. She's Or is the topic of the conversation Jamal? Because he allegedly, can't keep his pants up. And I must say, after the show, a lot of the conversation was on Gizelle. It was her reaction. It was, because like I said, she paused, but she is so composed that she just let them go through whatever. And she just sat there, and Andy said, well, do you have anything to say? And she was like, no. That whatever Monique have in her head, that's either one or two things. She been there, done that, and I'm going to get him later. Or I know it's not true, or it's true and we already got a story for this anyway. So whatever. So the majority of the conversation after that live was about Gizelle. And that's the part I didn't like, because I felt like, regardless of what you feel about her, oh, she's stuck up, she's this, she's that, she thinks there was a lot of colorism comments, she's light skinned and she's this and that, whatever. But there was a lot of conversation behind, oh, that's good for her, or Monique got her and all this other stuff. Yeah, Monique got her, but how did you feel? If you watched that episode, how did you feel for Gizelle after that? I personally felt bad for her, but not like, I just was like, whoa, okay, that was cutthroat. Monique really wanted to hurt her, but I didn't understand why we were going after Gizelle when Jamal Bryant was the one that made the commitment to her. He was the one that did this. Like, and that's the point of the mukbang. Like, why is she lumped into, help me out, leave a comment down below. Why is she lumped into his indiscretions? Like, he's the married person. He was the one that was unfaithful, but then we're laughing because someone's bringing tea against her about what her husband's doing. Was it the fact that we think that Gizelle thought that she had this trophy marriage and the house of cards are coming down? Was it the fact that, now some of it was, now there was a little bit of something where part of the conversation was that Gizelle she always has so much to say about everybody else's relationship. And, can't nobody touch her and Jamal. She's very, private, whatever. So that was their moment to say, you know what, keep your mouth off our marriage type thing. I get that part. But I'm talking about the internet conversation, the conversation after, is this a conversation that we have simultaneously? If that is the case, is she wrong for thinking that her husband is faithful and he loves her only and all this other stuff based on what he has told her? Does she, quote, look stupid, as some people said? I always have a saying. You're not wrong for loving someone and someone taking advantage of your love or abusing your love. Like, and that's what I felt like in that moment when everybody was commenting about Gizelle. I'm like, wait a minute, she shouldn't be the focus right now. The focus should be on Jamal and his indiscretion. Because even if she does tout her marriage as, perfect example, thank you, Russell Wilson and Sierra. Like, I think we all would be shocked to, and knock on wood, I honestly don't think, Russell's like that, but you never know. A man is a man, a woman is a woman, whatever. But what they put out is this solid union, right? So, and they both put it out, and more so Sierra more so than him, but whatever, they play into it. So let's just say hypothetically something comes out, whatever. Should the conversation be, oh, she's stupid, or whatever? Or I just thought about something. Is she, quote, stupid because she keeps taking Jamal back after he's done it over and over and over again, or rumored, or whatever? And leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Like, could you live this lifestyle for TV, for money, for views, or for whatever? Is that a lifestyle that you could lead? I just think personally, Gizelle has her issues. Don't get me wrong. Like, from what I see, I'm not going to say I'm a Potomac watcher the whole time. I catch Potomac, like, in a season, I may watch 3 episodes altogether, to be perfectly honest with you. But from what I've seen, I can see why people would relish in Gizelle's hurt. But I don't do that. Like I said, not with that spirit. That's not who I am. I'm not like that. Now, if I find something out like that and it's somebody I don't like, I will give them, shouldn't be so ugly, or whatever. But I don't relish in people's misfortune. I guess that's my point. I don't relish in people's misfortune, even for Jamal. Like, Jamal is a sick individual, allegedly, if these are the things that he is doing and she has to put up with. Like, I feel sorry for him. There's something inherently wrong with him. There's something wrong with him that he has to allegedly be a serial cheater with all these babies, and he's in the pulpit. That's not cool. So do I relish in that? No, I don't relish in that either. I think he's a sick individual, allegedly. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in this case. Not in this case. It was that was a very hurtful thing. And, like I said, I was just interested because the conversation, as soon as it happened, was all about Gizelle. Oh, she looks stupid and da, 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 da. And I guess there's a part of human nature where it's like, I knew that, she didn't have a perfect marriage and he wasn't perfect and blah, 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 blah. That whole thing. If you don't like someone and if you're jealous. So in order for you to relish in that moment, do you have a jealousy issue with that person? Because what you were jealous about really turned out to be nothing. So is jealousy the root of that? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. So I didn't eat a piece of naan bread. I am stuffed. Like I said, this is the second part of the mukbang. The first part, I ate a lot of it in the last video. I didn't want to lump both topics. So I just continued and ate here. So anyway, this is the naan bread. It's like a fry bread. And it's butter. And there you have it. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know if you watched the series. And you don't have to watch the series to know what I'm talking about. I gave you the gist of what it was. I gave you the gist of what was happening. And I don't know. I'm just over here minding the business that pay me. How about that? But I want to hear what y'all have to say about that. I want to hear what you got to say about that. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.